And this is your camera.
Oh, that's right. It would be so great if it was that.
And we're rolling.
Hello, good afternoon.
Is it on?
Are we on? I think we're on, right? I'm waiting for my audio people to tell me I'm on. Yes? Angie? Yes?
Yes, you're on. You're on.
Okay.
Well, we do.
Okay, good. I was like, okay, am I? What? Hey, everyone. Happy Sunday. Happy Mother's Day. Let me start out saying that first because this is the day that the Lord has made, and let's honor the women who birthed us and also who have raised us. So that could be one of the same or two different women. So we definitely want to say Happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful women out here in the world, especially one in particular who is in Little Rock, Arkansas. My mother, hello, mwah, had to say that to you, right? So sorry for the delay, but little tech things go on and stuff like that, but that's just what it is. We are here in Alfred Street. Thank you so much for joining us. And from what I was told, I think we have like over 500 people right now. So I'm trying not to panic, I'm just gonna pretend like I'm at home. I got my canvases and we're about to do our little thing here. I was also told there's a lot of people who actually bought the kit that is online, I think through Amazon. So thank you for that, because that supply, that little kit, gave you everything that you need. And I'm really impressed, because I was thinking, y'all gonna order some little kid stuff? That looks kind of nice. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to say kid stuff, because hi kid. We have one child here who is far away from me. It's Ryan. Everybody knows Ryan. So anyway, I'm Yaya, your guest here. This is Alfred Street Baptist Church first quarantine and paint, or quarantine and sip, I call it paint, event. And I'm hoping that we have a lot more of these for you guys as well. I'm your host, Yaya. Everyone knows me as Yaya here. Let's get started, okay? So you have your kit. And one thing I definitely want to let you know. So if you have a nice little palette, here's mine. I love it because it's plastic, just as cheap as possible, because I don't like spending a lot of money, but this will get you through. And also too, like if it dries, whatever, you can just pull it up, or you can use a little warm water and a little soap, kind of wash it off, whatever, and you're good to go. So this is your palette. So I'm going to explain to you what all you're needing for the picture. So the picture that you got is online, but I definitely want to make sure to bring the artist out of you. You know what I mean? So before we get started, though, I am tripping because I just have a lot on my mind right now. This is so cool to me. Let's start with a word of prayer. We are Alfred Street. We are Christians. We are Baptist people, okay? So let's start off with a word of prayer, okay? Would you pray with me? Father God in heaven, thank you, wonderful Lord. Thank you, blessed God, in your name of Jesus. We are gathered here today virtually in your name, Lord. I ask you, God, in the name of Jesus, to show yourself through our works, Lord. I pray, God, that everyone have a wonderful time today. I pray, Lord, that I am calm and cool and collected. And I pray, Lord, that whatever you're wanting to speak through me to the people, that it comes through clearly. In the name of Jesus Christ, amen. And that is a real prayer, because that's what I'm praying for. So anyway, get into the art world. So I'm not quite sure if you have in your packet this wonderful little circle, color square circle, which gives you all the colors in the world, and also to the combinations that you can put together. So I want to start and kind of give you a little history, a little lesson about the world of art, okay? So the first thing, and I'm hoping that you remember this from grade school, okay? Let's just get real. The three primary colors, which are, do I need to talk up louder? Oh, okay, good. So, of course, blue, which is my favorite color. At least this year it is. Yellow, which is always nice and sunny. And then you have red, which is fiery, very passionate. So those are your primary colors. So with being that said, so that's your three. But I'll tell you one thing that you're going to always need if you continue to do art and dabble a little bit more into painting, your black and your white. Isn't that funny? These two right here are the ones that make things happen for you, as far as making sure that you have the different shades that you want of your primary colors. You can make a more of a pretty navy with your blue. You can make a little darker red and a little bit of a darker yellow as well too. So with your primary colors, and I'm not quite sure how the camera is being held, so I'm gonna kind of lift up everything, and if it's not, then hey, it's all right. So this here, you got your blue and you got your yellow, and if I had Ryan around, she could tell me what color that would make. So yellow and blue, you may know this from school. Yeah, your green, okay? And then you have your red and your blue mixture. You put those two together, what color do you think you get? Well, I guess I'm here by myself, so yeah. You get purple, okay? So I have this one here, and this picture right here is online that I'm thinking that you have as well too, so you can kind of, you've been looking at it for a while, trying to get your little self together and try to start a little early. Hopefully you did not start early. So, but this is the painting here, and as you see next to it, I did a different style to it, so it's more abstract. So everything in the art world, honestly, is abstract. Some people say portrait versus abstract art, which really doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, because abstract is just not that person. So even with photography, it's not that person. So it has to be some form of abstract. So it's a form of abstract. So here, I just want you to see the two styles that you can pick from and do your own thing. This is not for you to have to paint exactly this. This is for you, this is an awakening for you, and we're just trying to give you a little guidelines of how to do things. So if you see something different when you see this painting, by all means go for it. If you see just all 2 or 3 colors only, go for it. I have a friend, well, our friend, Miss Lois. Hi, Miss Lois. I told you I was going to shout out to you. Oh, yeah. So I know that you are going to use your pencils or your charcoal. So I think that's wonderful. I think that's going to be a different twist to this picture. So again, I want you to feel free to do your own thing. It's not about how good you are versus this painting or whatever. And this is not, it's all right, but I want you to feel good about what you're doing, okay? So next lesson are the brushes, which are definitely important. So this is called your wash, a wash brush. And it's nice and full. Well, this is a little bit more expensive brushes, but this is nice and full and it's flat. And this brush here, if you dab it a little bit with a little water, and say for instance, we'll just pick a color. I'm gonna show you this. So this is a little different for me. I've done like sipping paints before, but I figured we are Alfred Street, and so a little education kind of go along with what we do, right? So you definitely want to, this is just a tester, okay? I'm just showing you, so don't do anything just yet. So this is your wash brush, and I want to show you what it does. This brush is for when you're wanting to cover a lot of canvas like this. And you see how it just kind of gives a nice little even flow, and you see it's like a wash effect. So it's not going to be all clunked up or anything like that. Other than that little spot right there, don't look at that. So you keep going back and forth until there's no more paint. So this is a wash brush. Put that down right here. The next one is your flat. And pretty much it's like the wash brush, but it's smaller. I love you. I do. I love this little brush. It's been with me for a while. So it's so cute. See? So it's flat, right? And this one here, dip in a little water. And I'm going to use the same color. Okay. So, okay, your flat brush. And this one is for lines. See that? And then so you can do like a skinny line, or you can do a flat line. And again, it's kind of like the wash. It's for you to be able to pull paint through. So, and you see it's just a smaller wash brush. Don't call it that though. Flat. I want you to know that. So when it comes to you talking about some art, You can say you know a little something, something. So, and this one as well too. This is smaller flat. So flat comes in a lot of different varieties of sizes. Your next one is, yeah, I love this brush too. This is your angle for the obvious. See? Angle. And this one here, I love it because, oh, I got a little DJ here, you guys. So this one here, show you what it does. So you make sure you have a lot of paint in your brushes. This is something later. But what the angle does, obviously, it gives you angles. So say for instance, you're gonna go here and then you wanna kinda turn. It didn't do it for me. Or here, be better. Yeah. So it's easy to do. Okay? And a lot of times for angles, you use these mainly for leaves. That's the best example for leaves. Okay, the next one. And I like this. I think the women ministry here would like this, what I'm about to say. It's a fan. So I like fans. I don't use them much though. You want to use fans for trees, like the branches. So it makes it real nice. Let me show you. Nice and feathery. See? Yeah. So that's a fan. And then, yeah, thank you. I was competing with myself. So the next one here is the round brush. Now the round, kind of like the flat, you're able to do lines, but it will definitely be wider. And to me, it's you can't really control it as much as far as your lines because it is again round. So, but that's how it looks there. Okay? Yeah. And last but not least, guess what this pen is called? Or this brush? Liner. So this is a liner, and this is here, honestly, it's for fine lines. I don't use it much either because I don't do a lot of fine line paintings. A lot of people use these brushes mainly for like portrait painting, or also too, like if you do a tree, say for instance, and you want to do a branch, so it'll be good for branches. Or if you do like a flower, like here's a flower already, right? Yeah. So here's like a flower, and then here's a petal. So then you want to use a liner to like bring in the little veins of the flower like that. So this is a liner real quick. Oh, okay, I was told I need to talk louder. I'm so sorry. I'm gonna put my cheerleading voice on here. Is that good? Okay, all right. So let's get started. Angie, could you do me a huge favor? Can you give me another canvas, please, ma'am? Yeah, I greatly appreciate that. So now you got all the brushes, you know what the paints. Okay, so you tell us which painting you're wanting to do. Thank you, baby girl. Greatly appreciate you.
You're welcome.
That was something that I was like, oh yeah, I need to do that. So thank you. So you have to, I'm so sorry guys. I am more of an interactive type person, so either I'm by myself or I'm with you. So I'm gonna pretend like you all here talking and laughing, and I'm hoping that you got your mocktail aside and, you know, having a little festive party, enjoying your moms and everything. So anyway, we're all good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So you got your canvas. So we have like the basic canvas, right? So when I say that, this is standard, this is like for beginners. You can find them anywhere of your local, I won't name any names, but local art stores. And when I say the standard, you can tell, you can even rub your own canvas. You can tell, you can hear it. You hear that? It's like a washboard, scratchy. So, but it's good. These are all standards. This one here, I don't know if you can see this one behind me, right here. That's on linen canvas, and linen's a little tighter grip, and it's a nice smoother. It's nice and smooth. You don't have to rustle with it. So let's get started. I feel a little bit like Bob Ross. Y'all remember him? Some of y'all do. I'm not the only one here that knows Bob Ross. The guy with the afro back in the day on PBS. Remember him? Oh, right. Okay. So, want to start off with our colors. So you tell us which one you're gonna do. And let me start by saying this before Brooke kills me. Make sure at the end, and we'll tell you this again, is ASBC paints with the S. Okay, that's our hashtag. Make sure you do that. So when you upload your paintings, we want to see your paintings and make sure that you do the hashtag. So again, you pick which one you want to do, or do your own thing, which I'm really a fan of. Okay, so I'm gonna do this one. I'm gonna attempt to repaint this again. This will be the third time I've done this. All right, so we're gonna do it again. You want to start off with, I would say, this one, your flat, because I like her. I do. I like her. And a lot of times, let me tell you one thing that people do that's a huge mistake, in my opinion. Okay, everyone got their styles, and this is mine. Okay, they always want to start with a black paint to start, to draw out your painting, and don't do that. Number one, the reason being, I think that a lot of you guys can see this, is that if you started with a black paint, okay, and you start outlining your thing or whatever, guess what's going to happen? You're going to want to use a lighter color, and guess what is going to happen? It's going to show through. So don't do black paint. Always do a lighter color. I always typically do like a tan color, and even still, I would use white to go along with it to really make sure it's light. So if you would, I'm hoping that if you got brown, put your brown paint in your palette, put a little white to it, next to it, make sure they're separate. Take your white paint and dip it over into your brown. I don't care what kind of brown you have. If it's dark brown, use a little bit of that and add it to your white. So say for instance, do I have any dark brown? Yeah, I do. I'm trying to show you guys examples of stuff before we get started. So say for instance, you got a dark color here, right? And you got your white paint. I'm just gonna tip them over here. You want just dip it a little bit and then mix it up. So and don't worry about getting it too dark or I barely can see it. That's the point. You don't want it. You laughing at me? Oh my gosh. Okay. So you take your white paint again, since it's light, and dip it again. Just when I say dip, I'm talking about like a little bit, okay? Into your white. I got a funny feeling you guys gonna get to really know me here today. So you got a kind of like a muted white here going on, okay? So if I was you, I would look at the painting and go, okay, which one am I more drawn to start off first? And it's okay, you don't have to go along what I do, but I want you to feel like you have a little bit of control of what you're doing. You are an artist, that's how I'm gonna treat you, okay? So for me, I would start out with the brown and gray one. You see that? I would start it with that one. Mainly because you're looking at it and it's somewhat in the center. So you definitely want to, before I fall off my stool, start off in the center. So you take your brush. You guys doing this with me? Yeah? Okay. So you want to take your brush and hold it down and allow the paint to just rub on the canvas in the center. Okay? There you go. Yeah. Don't worry about the line. It doesn't have to be thick. Please don't. Just don't even worry about that. And then that kind of gives you a guideline like, okay, I conquered the canvas. You know, you got something on the canvas, no fears. And you take a little bit more paint. You want to start with the top, at least I do, and take your flat brush and just take it and just go for it. That way you're feeling a little bit better about yourself. Life is good. No one passed. So, and then you want to kind of go down. Take the same brush. You want to angle at this point because it's the lip of the vase. I hope I'm talking loud enough. I'm guessing they'll tell me. And do the second half. See? No fears. Take a little bit more. get from the bottom and come out, curve, down, 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 down. There you go. See? Not hard, not scary. And then from here, so from what I've done on this painting, it's kind of crooked on purpose. So you want to come down a little bit more. Again, you want to angle your brush, all right, because you want it a little bit thinner, and just kind of whisk right there to the center. See, you already completed or somewhat completed to have a line out one of your vases. Okay, so the next one, I would do the next one next to it on the left. Get some more paint. Always make sure you have enough paint on your brushes, because what you don't want to do, which a lot of artists, I don't know, they shun at it, but I don't, I really don't, is dry paint or dry painting, where you run out of paint, but you still keep digging. And it's kind of like, just get some more paint. I don't know. So here you want to start again from the middle and come over and go up. Okay, that's cute. And then you want to do the line down. Okay, so here what I've done is obvious that it's almost like the same, but see, this is the great thing. This is a perfect example of why you don't want to do a dark color when you're lining, because what if you want to change your mind? And here I am about to change my mind. I think I want this one a little bit taller. And see, that way, when I start painting, this line won't interrupt my life, because it's, it won't go away. It will, because it's light, it's not dark. And then after that point, you want to just come all the way down to right there. Now I'm gonna stop here. The reason being, because with this one on the farthest left, it's a little bit big. And then as you can see, if you look at it, it's kind of in front of that one. So you kind of want to kind of shift your thinking. Shift. And it's straight. Start with the top, make a lip. Now with the lips, I never make it a straight line, because when you think of looking at a jar, like in a painting, whatever, it's not flat like that. It's kind of, in a painting, you kind of see the whole top a little bit, it's like a little slant of it. It just makes it more interesting. So kind of make it a little hump, a little bit of a hump. Okay, so when you come down both sides, get a little bit more paint. Now I'm hoping that you're definitely doing a light color paint for these lines to outline your stuff. Okay, and then you want to take it from the side and come down. Down. Okay. And then you want to do this side as well too. I can already tell you that this is going to be totally different from that. And come down. Yeah. I'm happy with the distance. Okay. So this time, mainly because, you guys, I've done this 3 times. So I kind of want to do a little something different for me. So again, you can see the art. If you want to pick only 2 vases to do, hey, that's cool. And make for more flowers, that's fine. I'm gonna show you how to do flowers. But with this one, I think I'm gonna do 4 vases. And I think I'm gonna do 5, but I'm gonna do a little something different. I'm gonna do this one, okay, which is a short, fat one. And I'm gonna make it like it's going to be behind this bottle here. So I showed you how to do one that's in front. Now I'm gonna show you how to do it from the behind. So here, a little bit more white paint. Dip a little bit, a little tap of brown to give that light frappe look, I guess. I don't know. Start here, line, and coming down. Okay. Now I know you're thinking, yeah, you ran out of room. That's why you're doing that. Maybe not. I want to show you how to do another vase in front of here. I really just want to keep this open. I know when they first asked me, I was like, I've done sip and paints where the sponsor wanted me to do exactly what wanted the students to do exactly what he does. And I thought, yeah, but you know what? That's not really creating artists. That's creating people to do what you say. So I kind of like how Pastor Wesley says, I'm not trying to force down what I think, but I'm just hoping that you're thinking. I'm paraphrasing, obviously. So that's kind of what I want you to do as well too. So what I would like to do, since this one here, you kind of have these two kind of similar, I want to do one here. I want to stress to you how important it is for you to find your own artists. That's why I gave the examples. That's why I kind of switched this one up a little bit for me. I kind of got tired of doing the same one. So, there. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's pretty cool. And it looks pretty good, right? You can tell that they're vases or bottles or something going on. So you got that done, which is really cool. So, depending on what style you like, which is here, I would say for younger artists or definitely beginner artists who are really into abstract, like that's your first love. And to tell you the truth, that's how I started about 20 years ago. Wow, I just told my age. So I was I was 2. So anyway, but this is really a cool effect. It's pretty, and it can go into any, apartment, like on the side, especially in the bathroom. I think that would be a kind of cool look as well too. And it brightens up and kind of sparky, and you can tell a good story. This one here is a little bit more traditional, but it's still considered to be modern art as far as abstract and more muted colors. Definitely you can put it in a dining room or, again, bathroom because the size. I have really never painted on a canvas this small before, so forgive me if I'm a little rusty here. But here the color's a little bit muted. It's just nice. It's definitely a nice painting. So I'm going to attempt to do this one all over again, but in a different way. So you have your drawing, your outlines, and I think that, what should we do? I think we should do the background. Let's do the background. So for here, I use like the muted color, see, and I added a little blue, my favorite color this year. So I'm going to use a little bit of brown, and you can use your dark brown, mix it with white, you'll have the same color. And also too, try not to get paint all over the church's furniture. A little blue. And as you see, it's not too much blue in your background, so just a little bit, not much. Mind you, I'm doing my own thing now, and I'm encouraging you to do the same. So, you got a little bit of blue, you got your background colors of your browns, a little muted. So, for me, I'm thinking that's a little too dark, right? So you want to get your white. It's all about mixing today. Yeah, I like that. And you want to use your wash brush. Remember that one? It's the bigger brush. It's the biggest brush that you got in your kit. And it looks like this, okay? A little bit wider. You want to make sure that the paint is like absorbing into the brush. Okay? So you want to take your first stroke. For me, never start in the center because you don't want all that paint in the center, your canvas. You want to take it and kind of just go across. See that? Just go across. Now, being that you start from right to left, then you want to flip your brush and go left to right. That way, it's a little bit more even of going inward. Nicer look. At this point, now this is a little tricky, okay? So being that you have just enough of your brown and white mixture, you want just a dippa-dappa. I mean, just like the corner, get a little bit of blue, pick it up. Go back in here because it should be wet enough and draw right into it. You see how it's just a little bit in there. And then take the flat of it and go across. Go across, go across. Like that. Take a little bit more blue, tip tap. Because you do it a little bit more, child, you're gonna be messed up. All right, so now you wanna go from left to right, tip tap. There you go. And wash it through. See, that looks good. Looks good. Okay, so this is gonna take a minute, so you might as well just get your paint out. A little bit more of your brown and white. Right to left, pull through. Yeah, good, 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 good. The thing about standard canvases is that it takes like maybe 2 or 3 coats to get it to look like a painting. Like, you don't want to see your canvas. You really don't. You don't want to see the white of your canvas. Yeah, you don't. You want the paint to soak through. And with standard canvases, it takes a little bit more paint, which is okay. So that's why you have to use a lot more paint. Okay, again with the blue, tip tip. Think it's ready? Yeah. Kind of keep going back and forth. So to do the background, you kind of have to go quick. So let me just get to going. You're gonna find that you're gonna use your white paint a whole lot to lighten colors up. So again, a little bit of your brown, mix it with your white. A little bit of brown, mix it with your white. And the thing about it, so I think the last time I taught a class and I was using the colors that I thought would look good with this painting, and someone said, but I see a sky. I want to use blue. And I was like, go for it, go for it. But this is the technique though that you should still do. If you want to use blue and dip it with white, go for it, it's fine. If you want to do like a, color blocking, even better. But your main purpose of this right now is showing you technique and at the result, having a nice painting. So you want to go back again and you see how that's lighter and there's no fear. This is what I do. Yeah. And you keep brushing through. And it's time for a little bit of blue. And you want to make sure when you do the blue, remember, tip, 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 go back where it's wet. If you do it on it where it's dry, you're going to have a problem of that muted look. You don't want the blue to be standing out there like that. You want to make sure that it's in the wet part. See, almost messed up. There you go. And you brush through. Now, a lot of times people would say, well, shouldn't you have done that before you did the lining of the bottles or the vases? I mean, you can, you want to. For me, it's a little bit easy, but, it's easy for me, but for some people, hey. Okay, so it doesn't matter. I like it this way. This is fine. I just love my family. I love my church family. Thank you. Thank you. Love it. Thank you very much. So you just kind of want to brush through. I'm kind of keep it going because some people are like, okay, I'm good with the background. Keep it going. I want to get to those bottles. So I'm just going to keep brushing through. And it's okay to not be completely finished with your background because a lot of times people go back through. So again, you want to get a little bit of the tip. I got too much. Tip, tip, tip. Not much, not much. And make sure, there you go, just swing it through. I love the fact that this is a wash brush. And you find that right here, you see how that's too much, at least in my opinion it is. Go back with a little bit of a brown and white. And the thing about with the brush wash the wash brush that I love is that you can go back and forth this way, or brush, 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 brush. One of my teachers told me a long time ago, I want to teach you all the rules so you can break them, and you'll be an artist, or artiste, how she would say it. Now you kind of want to go over here, same thing, brush, brush, brush. I'm hoping everyone had a wonderful Mother's Day. I know my mom is resting, bless her heart, and enjoying this wonderful day that God has made for us. Glad that she's still with me, I'll tell you that much. There we go. Want to shout out to the women's ministry as well too. Hey, Reverend Montrez. I know you see my pen in my hat. There we go. Going back and forth, until you are ready. Until your canvas, till you think that your canvas is ready. That okay, you know what? That background looks good enough to me. For me, I'm a little picky. A little bit over here. There we go. I know you're going, oh no, you got too much blue. Am I worried? Nope. Guess why? Exactly. And I feel like someone said it because you got more paint. Yep. You go back over with the brown and white. Like so. I wish I could shout out to all the ministries, but that would be a long list. I can think of the evangelism ministry right off the bat. Of course, the men's ministry. What's up, my brothers? I'm hoping that you had a chance to see Reverend Marla yesterday with the kids. I thought that was really cool that she was cooking with the kids. And I know there was a question of will there be a cookbook coming. I think that would be a wonderful idea. I'm just saying. I wasn't paid to say that, but I'm just saying. I would love to put my cookies in it, I tell you that much. Nice little cookie recipe I got. There. Now, I want you to see this. Where's the line? You don't see it. That's what I'm talking about. Because if you use a black line to do your outline and everything, you've been like, oh no, you messed up. Because that black line, I guarantee you would have seen it. So keep going back and forth because this is the background. And the background is just that. It's nice, it's muted, it's very serene, nothing harsh. Do not worry about if it comes all the way up to the bottles. It's not a problem, not a problem. This is easy breezy, easy breezy. You will not be tested, and you certainly will not be judged, right? Okay, so another little lesson here as we in the middle of this. You want to make sure that you wash your brush in between every time you use it. So for me, I always use a little bit of soapy water, not much soap. I know some people will say, oh, don't do that, just nice water. Yeah, but I like it clean. I like it clean. So when I'm done, I'm done. And what you don't want to do, which I'm going to show you what not to do, this is what some people do. They'll take it and just start just smashing it at the bottom. Just smash, smash, smash. You do not want to do that. Can you guess why? You will eventually ruin your brush. These little bristles here, water, they tend to, if you mash them down, they'll go this way, they'll go that way. You'll lose the form, and you don't want to do that. So you want to just tap it at the bottom and come up, tap up, tap up, tap up, until it's kind of clean. And this is just for right now, because at the end of every time you finish painting, and that's not to say that you're going to do a whole piece at that moment, or that day rather. Trust me, sometimes I have to go back 2 months later. Sometimes I can be over it and go, you know, I'll just come back to you later. And then, but anyway, between each session of painting, better word to say, you want to take a towel or a paper towel, because that's what I have, and just dry it flatly. You see that? Just squeeze the water out. Squeeze. because you want to make sure the main thing of doing this is keeping the true form of your brush. You do not want to mess up your brushes, especially if you pay a little bit of money. I mean, even $5. You definitely don't want to mess up your brushes, and you can keep them as long as forever. At least a year. I would say a good year. All right, now let's get to the little vases here. Yay. Okay, let's get our colors. For me, what I'm gonna do, okay, that's right. Miss Whitney changed it out for me. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do this one, okay? We already started. We got the blue a little bit. We got the browns and the whites a little bit. So it's like a muted sky of some sort. We're going to work on the vases now. Of course, I changed mine up just a little bit, and because I don't like to be bored. I'm gonna start it with the one on the left, which is more of the orange and browns, because that's just what I'm feeling to do right now. So on your palette, you want to get your paintings together, okay? Let's squeeze out the brown, and you know what? You can use whatever brown you want. If you have, like this one here is more of a true chocolate brown, use it. I got here espresso, which I love because I have just a little bit of it. I can tell. I like it a lot. And then here's another one, golden brown, which I use my browns a lot. You can imagine why, because I do brown people. I paint a lot of brown people. So I want to get that out. I want to use my chocolate brown. So say for instance, if you do not have chocolate brown like I do, just take one of your browns. It's fine. Squeeze enough on your palette. Then I got the orange going on. See, there's a little bit of orange, and it looks muted. It's kind of like a peach color as well too, right? Should I talk louder? Okay, so it's like a pink, peach, orange color there. So, if you have a palette, what you want to do is you have your brown here. You want to skip a space, and then put your orange in the next one. Make sure you have enough. And put it to the side. What other color we got going over there? We got white. So do we have enough white? Nope. Because we already kind of used that. Make sure when you use your white color, make sure you always use a different brush. Use a brush just for white. And it's obvious because white will turn on you. These colors will turn. So you don't want to do that. You want to keep that there. So that's white. That's why my bottle of white paint is large, and my black as well too, because I can go through those like nobody's business. So what other color we got? We got the dark brown, we got like a orange, peachy color, and then we got white, and of course we got the black line. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, so as far as the black, I'm gonna use that last, absolutely last, for the reason I keep stressing to you, is that if you use black at any other point, you're gonna wind up with it pretty much just gonna be a black canvas. Trust me, I've done this so many times. I'm like, oh man, I messed up. Ugh. Okay, just do the whole canvas black and then think of something else to do. So, okay, let's get it. So here we have a design, right? You have like 1, 2, 3, 4, and then have like a little patch. Again, we're gonna go ahead and attempt to do this again. I'm going to start out with the bottom. That's just my preference. Let's start it with a little circle there. So, of course, the white. Remember what I said, make sure that your brush get one brush that's only for your white. I'm going to use the flat brush, the smaller wash brush to start. And to get that look, all you want to do is put your brush on the canvas. Go up, curve, round. Look at that. That was not I didn't change brushes. Look at that. I love this. And come down. And it's okay. Just think if I had used black. Yep. So we're going to put this down. Put it down, put it down. We're going to let that dry, okay, and move on. Get another brush. Miss Yaya. Okay, so we got another whole brush. This has a little paint on it from touching it, which is okay. You want to start with I say now since we started here, let's start at the top. So we get the orange and peach color, right? So what I would like for you to do, dip your orange put it in an empty space, dap, 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 and you see it's peachy, right? So to come with the peachy color, what you want to use is a little brown. So tap it, dip into the orange, and swirl. Okay? And you're going, that's not peach. Well, it's getting there. It's getting there. Okay? Tap it again and bring it. You may need a little bit more orange. Yeah. Tap again. Sometimes it takes a minute, but it's okie dokie. Rather be right than wrong at this. So if I wish you guys could see this. So it's like a brownie orange color. You see that? So to get that color, what I do, hold on. Need another brush. What I like to do is use my white, pull it up, and let it drip in. See that? There, that should be enough. Put your white brush down somewhere, nice and neat. Take the one you were dipping with and then swirl. Ta-da! Now you got peach. And you think I was gonna be able to do it, did you? So, to make peach, we're really just a light color orange. Nice. See that? That's the color I want right there. Right there. So it's orange and brown with then you swirl it in with white, or you swirl white in it, I should say. Okay? All right. So with this one here, it's kind of like layers of it, right? So you kind of just do your own thing. I'm going to just start here and pull. Start somewhere, then pull. Start somewhere and pull. Start somewhere and pull. Yeah. And then when you realize that you don't have enough paint, it's pretty much gone, and you don't want to dry paint, because that you don't want to do that, you switch it. You want to make sure that you're contacting your canvas with enough paint on it. See that? Okay, go back in. Make sure your brush has a lot of paint, and go up. Yeah. Go along with the guidelines of your outline. I don't know if they still do this, but I know in kindergarten, remember scribble, when you just take a line and then you start painting, or use your color, right? You use your colors, and I was always the kid. Yeah, I painted inside the lines. I did, and I know a lot of people think, "Oh, you're an artist. I know you painted outside the lines." No, I didn't. I like my lines. So, okay, I have no more paint. Gotta do it again. So you grab your orange. Get a good amount this time. Dip a little bit of your brown, like that. Swirl. And that's a fun color. It's really pretty. Take your brush that's meant for your white paint only. Take it, dip, turn it a little bit so you won't get it everywhere, and let it just pour in. It's kind of like cooking. There you go. A little bit more, and let it dip. Cool. Take your brush that you were painting with and swirl. Do not worry if it's not the exact. If you want to make it exact, then you do way more paint the first time. But the reason why I kind of wanted to do in sections and kind of help you to do that as well too, so you can have that layered effect. So it's like, it's like a true peach, and then it gets a little bit browner, and then it's like brown. You want layers. Layers make it look like you are artist. Just follow the lines of what you did there. I think that's the biggest tip. right there. It's not to go for it with the black lines when you do your outlines of your work. Okay, start here as well too. Come over. And even you're like, you know what, I kind of like this color more so. Paint the whole thing this color, it's fine. And come all the way down. Oops. And then you say, okay, are you doing that same picture? Yeah, I am. I'm going to attempt to do it, you know, as far as the keep it authentic, to what we said we're going to do. But what I want to do along with that is just to show you some things. Like, there's no such thing as a mistake. Okay, so if we do some things like, oh no, she did this, then I'm going to show you how you can correct it. And remember, with the flat, I love it because you can do straight lines this way or this way. So you can go down, which is the thinner part of it, or you make it a wide line. And pull. I think you can kind of tell too that with the standard canvas that it takes a lot of paint to get rid of that white. And don't worry about it. You do not have to fill it up instantly of paint just so you get rid of all the white lines. It's not an issue like that, because when it dries, then you can do some real stuff. So we got that. We just wanted to make sure we got that color, okay? Then, let's see what we got going on. We got a lighter color. So you can take that same mixture, and this time what we're gonna do, take the rest of your mixture, dip that. Should I do that? Yeah, you know what, I'm gonna dip it over here. We're gonna pretend like that is a light color there. Dip it over here, which this one here is white. So you add a little bit more white into the mixture that you have, right? I had some white over here that was kind of already that color, so I'm gonna put it there. So you take that same dip that you just made, you actually made peach, and you put it in another little hole here, slot of white. Just keep adding white to it and you can have your layers, okay? Okay, and that makes a whole nother color. It's a little bit lighter. I like working with the flat brushes more so. The flat and the angle brushes. I love those too because it gives you a lot of control. It doesn't play around. It gets what I need to have done. So there. And I think honestly I need a little bit more white to that because I want that to be a little bit lighter. Where did you go? There you go. So what I did was take the same mixture, add more white. There you go. For this one here, instead of making it wavy, I'm going to make it straight this time. You see how it's not so light and it's not so dark, because at the end you want it to look like art for me. Or you can go this method, which is more straight on with color blocking, but we're not doing color blocking. We are actually attempting to do a softer version of modern. Okay. Now, if you want to do the wavy lines, let me show you do that right quick. Well, I'll show you on another bottle. No, I do it here. I do it here. So say, for instance, you got your wave, okay? So for me, I've done the straight line already, but now I want to do a wave. I want to make it wavy. And it doesn't matter with my painting. You want to take your same flat and come down and up. You see that? Down and up. Down and up. So you got that wave there. You see how I make that straight line a wavy? That's really the best way to do it, because a lot of times people want to go right into the wave. Well, what will happen is that you won't have enough paint, and it winds up looking like you wind up drying out. So I always do a straight line and then make that wave, and then that way it has enough paint on there to fill in those little gaps. Because what you don't want to keep doing is this, going back and forth, back and forth, forward. It's like no point. So there's my little wave. Hey there, wave. Ding ding. All right, and now let's see. So we got the dark, we have the light. Now we're gonna go to a really dark one, which is, let's do chocolate. And it's okay with this brush going into the darker one, because I'm not going back. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna make sure all that is in the dark. Hey. It makes it a little fun here. All right, so remember that dark does take over. So what you want to do here, being that it's under there, is follow the curve. Follow the curve. And you see what happens? You don't have enough paint. You gotta go back in. Hi. Well, talk louder. Thank you. Sorry, you guys. All right, so I'll have to pick it up again, but that's okay. Turn it over, and there we go. There. Now you don't want too much paint at the same time, because as it's drying, and being that it's, upright like this, it will dip. You don't want it to dip. You don't want that to happen. You definitely want it to stay in its place. So what's going to happen is that after we get here again, we're going to come back and do it all over again, okay? Just to fine tune it. You may see something like, I can see it this way, I can see it that way. One other thing too, while we're here, I know you're going, okay, let's get it going. So one thing you want to do sometimes when you're doing a particular painting like this, say for instance with vases or with apples, a lot of times people use fruit as their first painting. You want to think about the lighting. Like, how do you want people to see your painting? Do you want them to see it like, okay, they're coming in, oh, the light is hitting it this way, or the light is hitting it from the left, or the light is hitting it straight on? So that's how you kind of want to paint. So for me, I have always, no, that's not true. I like for this one here, I saw the light going, how did I see the light? There you go. I see the light going this way. So as you can see, the darker colors are all on the left side, pretty much. But yeah, so, and then like with this one here, seek God, the light is this way, coming down on them at an angle. And then here at color blocking is a little bit different. It's dead on. There's no light. It is light. So you have to worry about that one. So you make a decision at this point. Where do you see your light? So for me, it's coming this way. So what I'm gonna do, back again, I'm gonna make all this here darker. All on the left side, even on the little brush here, and your background, I'm gonna make that a little bit darker, all on the left side. But we're not gonna too much worry about that right now. Right now, what we're trying to do is make sure that your canvas is coated. So here at the bottom, it's a little bit darker, but it's still a little muted with the other colors, which is okay. What you want to do, for me, you would take a little bit of the brown and go back into the mixture that you made up, and you make it a little bit darker. Hey, sweetie. A little bit more brown. All right. I was told that Pastor Wesley is painting as well too, and I'm thinking I'm supposed to make sure that he is, because we are expecting to see his artwork as well, right? Yeah? Okay. Yeah, I had to call you out, Pastor. Everything good?
Yeah, which is
Cool. I have a dynamic duo here. It's Red. What is your name? Fernando. Yeah, I'm calling you out, Fernando. Well, I won't say Francois, but it's Fernando. And we have the lovely Yaya, who does all of our. She's like the head of all of our video stuff that we do here. All the wonderful videos you see online. That's
Oh, I'm not the head.
What, you're not the head?
There you go.
Well, you're pretty much. Were you up there? I'll call her Yaya too. And today's her birthday. Happy birthday, Yaya. Yes. Jesus, sweetheart. All right, so after you mix your brown more so into your the last mixture, and you really wanted to make sure that it turns that color that you're wanting, and I really want that to be a little bit darker than the peach. And then here you just want to flat up and down, up and down, up and down. Make sure you have enough paint on your brushes. I'm so glad to be here today. This is really cool because, like you, and I'm sorry, everyone's in the house and everything. Whew, I have so many paintings I've done in the last 6 weeks. I did one called Harriet that I actually was going to keep. That a dear, beautiful lady, she asked to purchase it, and I was like, yeah, I have to give it away because I have a lot of art. And unlike, poetry or being a songwriter, you use paper, your iPad, and then, you just type it up and stuff like that, and it's stored away. With art, of course, you have all these gigantic canvases, and then where are you going to put it, So I was like, yeah, I have to give it away. So what I've started doing, though, instead of saying I'm giving it or I'm selling it, I say that you're adopting my painting. That's what you're doing. It's definitely that person who purchased the artwork, of course, but to me it gives it more of a personal feel of you're going to take care of that painting, right? Yeah. Okay, cool. I just need to know that my babies are going to be taken care of, and yeah, they're like kids. They can become kids. I didn't realize that until I think one painting I did that it just really hit me because it was something how I was feeling about just some stuff, and someone bought it, and I thought, oh my gosh, you really want to buy it? I wasn't even ready to sell it. I had it in my restaurant just kind of hanging out, like there it is, and they were like, yeah, that really speaks to me. I'm thinking, no, it doesn't. Well, I did, and because the price was right, and so I sold it, and I just thought to myself, dog, it's gone. It's gone. She's gone. So I had to kind of step back, get a little talk with Jesus, and feel better about that because I don't know if I was really ready to sell it. And it's hard to redo work. And even now, you can do it for as being a robot. That's not the thing. It's the spirit of when it was painted, how you felt at the time. That's what make art to me everything. Like, that's what it's about, is how you're feeling, is what you putting into it. It's like food, did you put enough love in it? You can tell the difference of regular cornbread, Jiffy cornbread, and somebody who can make cornbread with a skillet, pan, you know what I'm talking about. It's a difference. So it's that love. So you just kind of want to go around this circle that you got going on. And don't worry about if everything is not, just perfect and all that good stuff. It is okay. Because this is not the time that we're trying to make things perfect, but we definitely want to plan on perfection. Or I should say excellence. All right. So now you kind of got your little basis of that color, of that one. So you want to kind of move it along. The reason being is because you want this to dry. Back to the water. You want to clean your brush because with acrylic paints in particular, they will dry on you. Oh my gosh, they would dry on you, and then you got these hard bristles. And you can wash it and everything. But it's just a little bit harder, and you just don't want to. You want to be good to your brushes. Be good to your brushes. Take a little pride of what you're doing, even if you're a beginner, because it just makes you feel better when you take pride in things that you do and work towards excellence. It just makes you feel better, and people can definitely see it in your work. Okay, again, that's a little bit of soapy water. Again, you want to take your towel, squeeze, 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 squeeze. All right, moving on to the next one. So here we got, what colors do we got? We got green. We got a variety of green. Miss Lady, are you painting? Okay, so we got you have your greens at the bottom. You got a little bit of yellow and a little bit of muted white. We focusing on that one? Is that what we're doing? Okay. All right, cool. All right. Hopefully you guys can see, I hope. Thank you. Thank you so much. Hey. All right, so the next one, again, we got the greens, we got the yellow, and we have a little bit of white. Now, if you saw it on, on our alfredstreet.org, the picture there, you can tell that it's not starchy white, okay? It's kind of like a muted. So again, we're going to start at the top, get all those colors getting up there, and then we're going to start with the darks at the bottom, mainly because it's just a lot easier to do with your colors. Now what you want to do is start with your white again. You are wonderful. Make sure you have enough white on your brush. Make sure you're using the brush that is for the white paint only to keep it pure. All right, and then you want to go for it. Now, I know what I just said. You're thinking, didn't you just say that you don't want to do starchy white? It's like, it's not. This is true. But when you go in, when I explained to you earlier about how the canvas that we got and that we're working with, the one that you got as well, is standard. So we're kind of making it easier on us. It's kind of like we're priming it. We're filling in those little holes. So when we do go back over it, one, we'll have that beautiful muted color, kind of blended effect, be easy. And also two, our prime colors that we're using will go on here a lot smoother because we primed it with white. Let's see. We're gonna go all the way up. Now you see how I made that mistake, but even with white, now that I'm covering it with white, it is gone-ish. So that's a little bit, use a little bit more white. There we go. Oh yeah, shout out to the drama team as well too. Did everyone like the animation that happened today? Wasn't that cool? Soulful animation. I thought that was really cool. Very nice. Looking forward to seeing more of that. Okay, so it's nice and prime, and it's okay. I think I'm gonna do it. Go farther down, only in the areas that I know I'm gonna do a light color. Yeah, to right about there, because of course I slanted over, and it's okay because dark colors would definitely knock out that. I just want to make sure all that's done. That's pretty cool. All right, put the brush down. What we got going here? We got the yellow, got a little bit more green there. So I would go with the yellow. Again, you kind of want to go from light to dark, mainly because of mistakes that could be made. This one here, this is a little too bright. This is bright yellow. I don't know if you have it or not, but this is bright yellow too. So I guess we will all be doing the same thing. All right, cool. I'm gonna get a little cup here for this because I ran out of space. So you take your bright yellow, like the sun. Don't need much. Yeah, that's good. And let's see, that's a little bit muted, right? Yeah. So we got this bright yellow. What I like to do with that one to make that color there, you want to. I'm going to do this. I'm trying to make sure to do what you guys have. You have a round brush, right? I'm hoping so. The round, it looks just like the name, round. The round brush, the bristles are all kind of staggered together as round. You take your yellow and you want to dip your brown. Not much, just enough to cover the tips, and circle it into your yellow. So it has that mustardy effect. Look like mustard. I am hungry. All right. So now you want to just kind of go along with the painting. You see it there. See the tips of it. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. And you can use your round brush for this. This is fine. This has the most paint on it, of course. And kind of outline the outline. Kind of go along with it, and then kind of draw your line, because what you want to do is kind of have it angled. Yeah. And then I see the little green, but also in the green there's a little bit of a yellow, which is fine. So just kind of outline the whole top. Outline the outline. Okay. It goes all the way up. And so this side as well too. All right. Now remember what side that we're doing as far as the lighting. Make sure that you can figure that out for yourself. So you can trick yourself as well too. Just because, like I said, the light for me is coming towards me, so everything on my left side would be darker. You can kind of trick yourself at home. Like you may not have that advantage of or then you have to turn everything around or whatever. You just say, hey, everything is going to be on the right or the left. So you pick, but make sure that you're consistent though. That's the main thing. Because if you're not, then people are like, you didn't know what you were doing. You didn't listen to your teacher. All right. And so that's just the thing with the round brush. It takes too much off your canvas as well too. You try to go back. That's something I just noticed for myself. You just kind of want to brush it into the white. See? So it's not no straight line, like you're trying to press it all in or whatever. You just kind of want to do a little, like I call it the butterfly effect. So it's kind of like this brush it, brush it, brush. Brush it, brush it, brush. Brush it into the white until it's kind of staggered. See, you're already muting your colors already, which is great. See how you just brush it in? And if you kind of do it, don't do too much, but just enough to kind of go, you know what, that's starting to look like art. And pretty much that's what art is where you are in your head with it. If you see more yellow, cool. If you realize that, you know what, I want the whole thing yellow. But I kind of want to just lightly brush it into the white. So some things that you already learned today. You learned all the names of the brushes. So that's pretty cool. You didn't know that before, right? Well, some of you probably did. But now you kind of know what they're used for and how to get the effect that you're needing quicker than you did before. And you also know that you can break all the rules. If you want to paint with a round brush on everything, you know what, it is your world. You knock yourself out with that one. I just find it easier to kind of go along with the rules on that one though, as far as going along with what the brushes are used for. So there, nice and kind of muted. While the white is still wet on here, you want to get a fresh brush. Get a fresh brush. Let me find me a fresh brush. I'm gonna find another flat. I love flat brushes. And being that it's not too wet, if it's still really wet for you, you can just kind of touch it and kind of go, yeah, it's too wet. But what you want is, you can kind of tell by looking at it, it's a little sticky. So it means it's drying. You want to take your flat brush, I'll show you this, okay? And literally go into the white and dab. Dap it, dap it, dap it, dap it. Hold it here. Dap it inwards. That way it's not starchy white. And you have a nice effect here. Kind of like that. Okay. There. See, it's a lot different from what it is there. Without losing the whole feel. Now you want to find, let's see. I think it might be best for us to what? Yeah, it was a little bit of a hint of green there, remember? See it right there? It's a little bit of a hint of green. And it's mainly to show that this side is darker on this side. So do we do that now? We can. Or we can just hold it for that. Or we can start with the bottom. It's up to you. For me, I think that we should start at the bottom. Get a nice flat brush going here. Let me find one that's clean. Remember to wash your brushes in between. There's my white one there. Make sure that stays there. Again. Sometimes I'm not going to even tell a story. I don't wash my brushes as often as I'm doing right now. Shame on me. Shame, yeah, shame. But I don't. I just use a lot of brushes, and at the end, I wash them all. One thing I know a lot of people do at these paint and sips, they just tell you to keep the brushes in the water. Sometimes some of them do. Nope, don't do that. Because what happens, if you don't know, that eventually, right along in here, this whole piece, see that this whole piece here is stuck on here. This is a piece of wood, and it's pulled on here and it's held by glue. If it's water inside, if it soaks in, it loosens the glue and it falls off. And then you just mess up a really good brush. Yeah, you can put it back on there. Trust me, I have, but it's just not the same. It's not the same. So again, how you wash your brush? Go in, pull up, go in, pull up, go in, pull up. Okay? After you've done that a few times, take a towel, press and pull. Press and pull. Making sure you're not losing the integrity of the brush, its shape. Very good. Now you got a clean brush. Let me use this as my trash can. All right, what we're doing, the green. All right, so get your green. How are we doing on time? Oh my gosh, that's right. Oh, okay. Technically, we're supposed to end in 15 minutes. Let's move this along. All right, start with the green. And again, here we got the green. It's a little bit dark and it's a little bit light. You got the little highlights or whatever. So we're going to just take the first layer of green. I'm going to stop talking and paint. And we're kind of going to go for it. We're going to paint the whole thing. More paint. And remember, your canvas is drinking your paint right now. Pull down, pull down, pull down. Yep. There. So we're gonna let that dry, get tacky a little bit. Put your green paint down, brush down. Get another brush or wash your paint. Then we're gonna go back up in here. Take another fresh brush, and I'm gonna tell you why. We're gonna kind of dap it a little bit, right? Oh, that good pink or the good green, just dap it. While it's still trying to soak it up. and you're going to use it, that same brush. Now this here is a flat, but you can tell that I have done the wrong thing. But it's a flat, and you're going to go up into the top layer and just nicely brush it, barely brushing it, just a tad. And that's how you get that green in there. That's how I did that the first time, and the second time, and the third time. So it's just enough green. And then you kind of brush it into the white. Brush it into the white, brush it into the white. I think that's a brush, yeah. So you can tell that these brushes here are not the most expensive ones because they're coming off, yeah. There you go. There, so you have that effect there. Put that back down. Now we're gonna move on to the next one. So here we got the chocolate, and we have like a muddy gray color, right? So let's do the chocolate first, since we already have that out. And kind of go for it. Now here, either you can take your light color and do your design, or you can go from this point now. And you're going to take your flat, go up and over. Okay? Then you want to kind of fill it in. No worries, you're just outlining, but you're more certain now where you want it. And then you kind of want to fill it up. And with here, do you want that little block in your vase? If not, don't worry about it. I do. So I'm going to make a little block. And again with the flat brush, because I can. Okay, and then just kind of paint around it. I'm excited to see what you guys come up with. Make sure you get enough paint on your brushes as well too. There you go. The lip of it, kind of curve it. A little bit of curvy lip. Yeah. Remember, you are allowing your canvas to drink the paint. And then you're gonna move on. So with that same chocolate, in another little container or on your palette somewhere, you want to take chocolate. Make sure you have enough. And at this time, yeah, bad boy here, black. And just a dab, like a little squirt here. Coop. It will take over. And what else we got going there? So it looks like a little bit of white as well too. But so you want to start off with these two, all right? And swirl it. Yeah, see, I put too much black. So we got to put a little bit more chocolate. I should have asked y'all what time it is. Then I'm like, oh no. So here's chocolate, here's black. Swerve it. Very good. Now at this time, oh yeah, that's nice. It comes out to be a dark chocolate, right? So that's kind of what you want. Now you want to take the white, and I say squirt twice. 1, 2. Turn, put it down. Here. And swerve. It's like your bacon. And there you go. So it's like a muted gray. Yeah. Very pretty. Make sure you have enough on your brush and go to work. I'm telling you, that's like the number one. If you would just remember that and not try to go against that rule, as far as the using a light color for your outline, you are going to be so happy with yourself, and you won't waste time and money on canvases because you messed up because you can't get rid of that black line. Just kind of go forward, fill it in, fill it in. Remember, your canvas is drinking it up, and it's okay. It's okay for the vase to be thirsty, as long as you're not. All right. There you go. Cool. So you're thinking, okay, isn't that a little bit lighter? Yeah, it is. So what we're going to do, we're going to use our white, and we're going to just find a spot. Use the same brush that you used to make this charcoal brown color. Take a little bit of white and go right over it. And you see how it changes? Matter of fact, I think this is how I got that color in the first place. Like, you know, I think I want it a little bit lighter. And think about the bottle. You know, you're not going to have like swervy lines or whatever. You're pretty much going to have up and down lines. So after you get it, the canvas to soak in the paint, go back over with your flat brush and just kind of go up and down to get those nice long lines, to give it a bottle look, right? There we go. Cool with it. Cool with it. Put that brush down. Don't forget where your brushes are, okay? So now we can go back to the green and make it darker. Now this time, you still got your green. You want to take a little bit of, let me see here. Yeah. I'm telling you, I use black all the time. Maybe one little squirt, not much. Remember, black will take over here. There you go. Get you a nice little brush. Matter of fact, since this is the last time we're going to use green, I'm going to use that. Circle, circle, circle. Yeah. And now you have like a hunter green by mixing black and the true green. So you have like a hunter green now. And now you want to do the same effect. This is, again, your flat brush, and just go into it. And this time, you just kind of be free with it. Staying true to the curves that you created, that you said you wanted. And it doesn't have to be perfect. Why? Because we're using black at the end, right? Now here I took a lot of green. Yeah. Come down, come down, come down, come down. It's good to see the true green within it. You see how that little swirl effect is there? Oh, it's pretty decent. So put that down and put that to the side. We're going to go back into the brown because it looks like the brown is a true brown, like there's no blending of any other color, right? So we're going to get a brush, or you can wash yours out. Another flat brush. Take the chocolate again. Now sometimes people will wet their brushes and then put their brush into the paint. I don't particularly like doing it that way, maybe because I'm not trying to do watercolors, and that's exactly what will happen. But when you're doing like a whitewash effect on your canvas, like for the background, perfectly, I think that you should go for it. Definitely go for it. But when you're doing objects and stuff like that, that's not the look you're wanting. You're wanting to have more of the pigment. Yeah, don't do the white, the water in it rather. And you see after how painting is, it's all about layering. Because we couldn't get this color the first time because one, it was too wet, it was still sinking or absorbing into your canvas. I'm really grateful that Yaya is working today. Today's her birthday, man. It's very nice. There we go. There, see? Now you got that true brown. And we're gonna move on. Now we got the navy. We got the navy with the blues. Hey! For whatever reason, right now I'm really into blue. It's like, so pretty. So pretty. Okay, so if you don't have navy, what do you think you're gonna do? Mix your blue and your black. And that will make navy for you. But I have navy because I'm just that way. Now I'm going to practice with another brush, one I told you about, the angle brush. Okay, and show you kind of things that it can do for you. So we're going to start with the top. We're going to, this time we're going to start at the bottom, just for difference, because there's no set rules. I'm just telling you what I do. But here, let's start at the bottom. You have your navy at the bottom. I have a different shape than the one that's on the painting, but that's okay. For me, what I'm going to do is take this angle, dip it into my navy, and I'm going to go ahead and create the line. You see how great that navy is compared to even the flat or even the wash brush? It just gives you that nice curve instantly. Like you don't have to even worry about it. It goes from thick to thin, quick. And from there, I just want to just come down. Okay, so should I make a little hole in there? Let's go for it. Let's do it. Kind of staying true somewhat to the art, the picture. Kind of go around. It's a little stool. All right. Follow the brush down, brush down, brush down, brush down. With an angle, I just love it. It makes you feel like a painter. There. And don't worry about it. Don't worry about trying to make it all sink in at that same time because honestly it's not going to, and you wind up wasting paint. Just let it dry for a second. Now we're gonna go back up to the top. Now the top, you see that is a lighter gray. So what you can do without wasting your paint that you've already done, but you definitely need another little container to put stuff in. You want to take the muddy gray that we did, the muddy little brown gray here, take a little bit of that, okay? Put it into another container on the side, and you want to put in more white. Squeeze in white as much as you want. I said about 3 good squirts. Take that, mix it. Oh yeah, there you go. And so it gives you that color. So that's the difference. With the chocolate, we mixed the chocolate and the black, and it gave us this color. And then when we took this same mixture and added more white, and see, we have like the cousin to it. Put that to the top. And if you don't like this color, hey, go for a color that would complement blue or the opposite. Any of those colors. I'm hoping that you have a color wheel. I'm not quite sure if your kit has a color wheel, but you definitely can find a color wheel online if you Google it. just kind of fill it all in. Go all the way up. Get a little bit more paint. Again, you can go right over those lines. It's not going to hurt anything. And it's all nice and covered. Okay. And look like the other bottle is pretty much the same color, but it's a little bit lighter. All right, a little bit lighter, right? That means what? More white. Put in that same mixture. That's why I always tell people, especially at the beginners, I love the fact that you got that kit. That is amazing. Amazing. They have come up so much from when I started. Okay. And we're going to just go for it on this one here. Make it all that same color. Ooh, we may need it a bit lighter, huh? We could. There we go. I think I'm gonna make it a little bit lighter. You got your painting? Are you done? What? Is it just me? All right. Me talking. Here we go. Now, if y'all already done, that means y'all been speedballing. There you go. So I'm not going to put a hole in this one, or a spot, rather, a design. There you go. So now you have everything done. Isn't that something? It's all done. Now you can go back and kind of trick out some things. Grew up in the 80s in a sense, 80s and 90s. So if you want to go back and put the dots and the wiggly lines and stuff like that, that's great as well too. Let's continue though. Let's see. I think we should make the hole here, or the little block here, and then we're going to do the stripes real quick, make some dots, and then do the flowers, and then we'll be done with this bad baby here. So let's start with this. Let me see. Let's do the stripes. Or you can do this little, I call it a little cotton ball effect here. You can leave it or do it or not. It's either way, up to you. I think that I'm going to do, wow. I can go for the black. I can't believe it. Cool. All right, so let's go for the black. Get your nice brush, good clean brush. Get the one that you like the best from all the ones I taught you. So the first one is what? Your first brush that you use for bigger spaces on your canvas. It's called what? The wash brush, right? Don't forget the names. You got the wash brush, which is your bigger brush used for landscaping backgrounds. Then you have your flat brush like this. Yeah, this is one that you use the most of. Then you have your angle brush for the obvious, for those nice little angles that you can create. You have your fan brush that you use for trees and grass. Then you have, what else? Your liner, which is really nice and thin, and it's for details. And then you have your round brush. The round brush is the one I'm not a fan of. I'm just not. So for your lines, make sure that you just stay true to the object. And it's like the fun part. It's kind of like, yeah, I'm done. And then it makes you feel like, I can do this. Yeah. Make sure you have enough paint on your brush. And when you feel like don't have enough, flip it over. All right. We started a little late today, maybe because of technical difficulties. which I know you all can understand. If you at a job that you have to use a lot of communications online to see one another without naming names of the different apps that you're using, then you surely can understand. I know at my job as a contractor, yeah, we have that a lot. And so just outline all your spaces here. But I kind of want to go through a little history of painting, like who's the godfather of abstract art. Talk a little bit about the paintings of Obama and Michelle, Barack Obama, I should say, and Michelle's painting. That was at the National Portrait Museum. I hope you had a chance to see it. It was really nice. And all we're doing here is just being true to what we said we wanted to highlight. And it makes things look complete. And for me, was this third or fourth time? I can't remember now. I'm just doing it a little bit different. A little bit differently. Moving on to the next one. Breaking it up. Highlight the whole thing, outline. Just tracing it back. And the fun thing about this method is that if you think that you made this too small, you can always take your brush and go out. Kind of like how women do with our lips. Sometimes you kind of want a little fuller effect, and you kind of go outside of the line. Yeah. Man, I'm sorry, I don't know what you can compare that to. Okay, moving on here. Same thing, just staying true to the outline. And the thing about the flat brush, you can make it a thin line, or you can make a fat line. I think I'm liking the fat effect here. Go around. And you see how black don't have any problems with soaking in, being part of the canvas, making it work, making it do what it do. It's just doing. It's doing what I need it to do. Love it. Need to do a little bit more here. I would like to see the next time, I'm hoping it's the next time, that you tell us or you submit some paintings that you would like for us to do as well too. That would be kind of cool. Again, I'm more of an interactive type person, so I'm definitely grateful for this time with you guys. And remember, if you don't have enough paint on one side, that's the time you flip it over, because you have more paint on that side. And you want to use all the paint that you have. Try not to be wasteful. And you know what, here, the same black, now you can just go for all the designs that you want here. Oh yeah, I forgot, I had this here going on. Yeah. The way I found out that I could do a little something on canvas, I went to a museum. I was asked to go, and it was my first time going. It was in Dallas, and I thought, all right, let's do it, let's go. And I saw this painting. It's always that one. And you can make this as sharp, or you can make it clean, or you can kind of puff it out a little bit, your lines. You don't have to make it as harsh as I did this time. But anyway, I was at the museum and I saw this painting, and it was one huge red dot, and it went for $80,000. And I was just like, I just couldn't. Really? I'm here with student loans, thinking, well, they asked someone to pay $80,000 for that? Are you kidding me right now? So I was like, okay, let me go to my local store and figure this out. And sure enough, I've always been able to do like stick figures and stuff like that. That's one thing. But my very first painting was a pear, and I gave it to my mom. That it was a pear. So for the little stickies or the little sticks that's coming out the bottles, what you want to use is your liner, which is the last one I told you about. And you want to dip it in your black, or you can do the brown as well too. It's up to you. For time's sake though, just to show you, I'm a left-handed person, so this is how I start. I start from the base and come up, and just kind of go. And then this is the part. This is where you want the dry brush look, so it kind of fans out. It's great. I think it's a little bit too much there. And then you want to do it again, and kind of go for it. Go where you want to go. Okay. Make sure you leave a little room for your flowers. Here again. And also too, being as abstract, you don't have to have it inside the bottle per se. You don't have to have it to meet there. Like even up there, I have one that it doesn't even attach to the flower, which I thought, I like it. So here we kind of want to kind of do a little opposite of how the painting is going. And you try not to, you want to only do it one time to be true to it. Yeah. There we go, like that. And for time's sake, we're going to go ahead and do the little dark splotches. And it's just little randoms. It doesn't really, no rhyme or reason for it. It just looks cute. At least I thought so. All right. And then on here, get your little squigglies. Go for it. It's all good. That's what I did. I forgot one little line. We can use this liner. It's fine. Look at that. And with this one, unlike the other painting, I'm going to outline it with that too. Okay. And this one here, we can just leave that plain. Moving on to the flowers, and then we are pretty much, that's a wrap. So the flowers, a lot of times people would want to use your flat. Some people will like to use, they use their fans. Let's use our fans just because we haven't done that, and I want to give you that whole experience of using all your stuff. So you want to use your mustard paint that you have that's already set. What you want to do is add more yellow to it and a little white. That should be good to go. But just in case take another brush, mix it up like you're making a cake. There we go. Gives you that light, nice, true mustard color. Okay. With your fan, what you want to do, you want to do it like this. Go back and forward. You don't want to tap it. You want to go back and forward. Okay. And you start from the inner, or you can start the out. So let's try it this way. Out, coming in. Out, coming in. Turn it, out, coming in. Turn it, out, coming in. All right. Or you can go in, going out, in, going out, in, going out, in, going out, in, going out. I prefer out, going in. That's just me. Out, in, flip it, in, and then in again. Here, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in. Here again, out, in, out, in, out, in, flip it, out, in. Yeah. Now, as you see, there's a highlight. The flowers are not just one solid color. if you have a flat brush that's already clean, trying to hurry get this done. Let's see. Or you can take another, what's this called? Fan. Yeah. Fan brush. I got a little black on it. I think that's going to look cool. But you want to take your white and dip that. Kind of make sure it's on both sides of the brush. And fling it out. This time you want to go out, in, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Out. In, out. In, out. In, out. Out. Again. In, out. In, out. In, out. In, out. There. Of course, again with time, you can go back again. There's a little bit of hint of green. So your hunter green that you already made, while it's wet, use your fan brush and ever so lightly, I mean just a tippity tip tap tap like that. You want to start in, go out with it. Tip, tip, tap, tap. Okay, a little bit more. To give it a little bit of depth here. And you don't have to do every flower, just some. Just a little tip there. Moving right along, going back into the black and the browns. Oh, so there we got some leaves. We can use a little bit of the brown. You want to use your angle brush. Find that would be most helpful for leaves. Why? Because you can start, like here's your little tip here, tip, come in, down. So we're not going to do leaves, we're going to do like a leaf on this one, okay? So I did it in brown, but you can go back over it with green, it's fine. Okay, but I wanted to make sure that you saw how the angle make those really pretty leaves. So you want to start with the top, come in, go down, go in, come out, come in, go down, come in, go out. If you remember that, and you have a leaf. Okay. Then I want you to do the black again. Back to black, my fave. Go ahead and use your same brush that you have with your black in, and just pretty much just dap it. It's such a strong color, of course, that it carries itself. Nice, right? So that's this one, and again, it's just a variation of what you see on our site. Another thing too, I love to give out tips. So what I've started doing in the past 2 years, and then I think we're done. I like framing my art. So like, say for instance, if you don't have enough money to get, your art frame or whatever, what you can do is take your black or dark color and paint the whole sides of the canvas, right? More black, more black. And I want to show you something in this. So, say for instance, you take the top, right? And you go back and forth with it. And then you're making it sure that it's all nice and covered. There's no white. It looks like, nice kind of frame-ish. It is okay if it spurs out a little bit on the picture itself. Matter of fact, I start doing this with all my paintings. I started with the Harriet one that I just sold. I start doing this. That's just a little tip. You kind of flick it into your painting. It gives it that torn, a little bit of a worn looking. It just looks more like art. I like it. There's so much I could tell you about art right now, but at least you have the name of the brushes. You know the prime colors. This is painting 101. Oops, got my black in there. Yeah, you definitely know the name of the brushes. So this is your flat, say it again, your wash brush. This is your fan, because it looks like a fan, right? This is an angle. For the obvious, it's angle. And you have your little thin one, the liner, yeah? The round brush, the round. And the last but not least, which one did I not name? The flat, which is my favorite. Ta-da! Hello, I love you. And pretty much that's your painting. You're pretty much done. So you can go back, you can add little things that you would like to make it more personal. But make sure that you do, if you like this type of look for the frame look, give us something. Either if you can go all the way down with it, make some waves with it, that'll be kind of cool. You can choose different color flowers. You don't have to do yellow. Yellow is like a personal family color that we have going on. I think my mom loves yellow as well too. Make sure that you don't feel afraid. This is like painting like one-on-one. This is not just a paint and sip, but it's like a class. So you know your brushes, you know your paints, you know what you can do with it. You know that your prime colors are blue, yellow, and red, and from those you can make any color, especially with your white and your black. Your white will lighten the colors for you. The black, of course, make things darker. So the one thing that I really like is how, because I was like really bummed out one time when I didn't have a green that I wanted. And I thought, let me figure this out. So of course, had my little school book and stuff, and I was like, oh wow, look, you can make hunter green, which I love that color. That is so pretty. But you also know how to kind of, you're not afraid to make your colors bleed a little bit or puff in the middle like that. You're not afraid. You know that you should always do your lighter colors first. And you also to know how to outline. You outline with what color? The lighter color, like a light, very, very light brown, which is everything. And as you see from that line that we made to kind of angle and make sure that everything was kind of in balance, that it went away. It's like it's gone. You don't see it at all. Even with the, of course, with the vases, because we covered them, not just with the black, but even with the colors that we have, they did not, you can't see through them. You didn't see through them. And then when you do with black, it just makes things pop. So again, you can use the rest of your black, because I know you got a lot of black left. I know you do, because you probably squirted too much. I know. But it's all good. Why? Because going down here, making our base, we just go back and forth. Don't worry about it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Perfect is boring. In the art world, perfect is boring. Make it yours, right? There we go. Make sure you finish up your sides and you are good. Thank you so much. Sorry again for the technical difficulties, but I tell you what, our AV team they are the bomb. Please make sure that you say thank you to our AV team online. Leave your comments. Make sure when you're done with your picture, and I think we may, during this week, please post them. Make sure you use the hashtag ASBC, ASBC paints with a S, okay? Paints. So we'll make sure to put them up as well too as we get them in. Happy painting, and make sure you sign your paintings as well too. Let me give you this last little tip. I know I got all these tips. No, I don't talk too much. Here we go. So this is my special signer pen. I love it. It's a brush. It's a little bit of a curve, and I always at the very end, after everything is dry, after I make all my little corrections and critique it, and critique to death on some things. Then I gloss it. You can gloss it as well too. That's a whole nother story. Then at the end, sign your name. All right, and make it yours. I hope that you had a wonderful time. Thank you so much for joining Alfred Street Baptist Church's first Quarantine and Paint. Hopefully we will see you soon, and if not in person, definitely online. thank you so much, and make sure to stay tuned for all our wonderful events that's coming up this week, like Faith Forward, which is tonight. I think we missed it. Oops, sorry, Pastor. And then there is a Bible study on Tuesdays. You gotta participate. Pastor's off the chain on those, off the chain. Then we have the women's ministry. We have our call-in line on Wednesdays. I know we pray every day at 7 a.m. Eastern time. Make sure that you call in. All the information is definitely on our website. I'm trying to make sure that I get everything in. And also too, let me think. Yeah, that's it. See you next time. I'm Yaya. Make sure you join, follow us online on all our social media pages, which is Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And that not just the main page. Of course, you want to follow Pastor, and also to the women's ministry as well too. Shout out to the dance ministry. Love you all, and thank you so much for this time. Thank you, and I'm definitely looking forward to all your wonderful paintings. Again, I'm Yaya. Bye. I'm hoping that the AV team will come and check me off. Hopefully, sometime soon. Or maybe not. You know, I can talk now. I can talk. I think maybe this time when music comes on or something like that. Hey, Angie! Yaya! Ready? Hey! Bye!